Hello and welcome back to Legends of the Tabletop. We are here with another episode of the 2024 character builds. I'm Veronica.
I'm Zach. Today we're going to be going through the Cleric. So we're going to be trying to do this based on character building, not so much min-maxing. So let's get into it.
So, some of you may know I know a thing or two about clerics, and I've always made a good cleric. And today I thought, let's switch it up. So, I am making a cleric, and my inspiration is none other than the Lord of Darkness himself, Lucifer Morningstar.
Oh, you went last name.
I'm talking Lucifer Morningstar, aka the guy played by the most handsome Tom Ellis in the Lucifer TV show. He is my inspiration,
Okay.
specifically. Not like I read the Bible or anything.
Got it.
I'm thinking about the TV show, and you will understand that as we go through more of the character build and where I'm putting him into my character.
Very cool. I also went with a very specific TV character. I'm basing mine Cleric off of Thoros of Myr from the Game of Thrones TV show. I never read the books, so if he's like totally different in the books, don't come after me. But in the show, he's definitely like a really haggard, like warrior priest type guy. He fits the bill perfectly.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you do as we
Yeah.
dive into it. All right, so going on in our character builds, I guess the next thing we're going to talk about is our origin. So where's your character coming from?
So my character's gonna be a hermit, he's kind of like an outcast. Definitely has some friends, but not big on the city life and whatnot. I'm also trying to make this character like a big healer. I want heals to be his focus. So hermit comes with a great feat, the healer feat, and that gives you some wonderful things. So if you have the healer feat, one of the great parts about it is that you get to re-roll ones on all your healing dice. So if you're doing a lot
So
of
cool.
a lot of low heals at the beginning of the campaign, rolling a lot of d4s and stuff, you can make sure those get you the biggest bang for your buck. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
So being the Lord of Darkness, I went with the noble origin. And the feat that I get is skilled. And what you get to choose with skilled is you can gain proficiency in any 3 skills that you want, which when I was originally thinking of my character, I was like, he's suave, he talks to people about like what are your desires and gets them to do the stuff that he wants, you know. So I was like, maybe he's intimidating, he's very perceptive, he's very deceptive, there could be 3 skills there. But
You
the
want him,
other
you want him to pass all those checks.
Yeah, basically. But the other thing you could do for skilled, you could do your 3 skills, or you could choose tools of your choice. So next in our character build, we would be going into our species characters. Or
Yeah.
species of our characters, rather.
So I picked a dwarf, which doesn't really fit the character that I'm basing him off of, but I just love the idea of a really gruff dwarf.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, dwarfs sort of get the short end of the stick, pun intended, in D&D, but still love them anyways. They get dwarven toughness, so your hit point maximum is increased. That's always great for a healer. You don't want your healer going down. And dark vision to 120 feet. That's pretty impressive. So they've got some good stuff to their species.
Oh yeah, I played a cleric dwarf once. She was a woman with a beard, and her family came from Ailers. Oh my god, so fun.
Gotta have ale.
Oh yeah, 100%. So for my species, I went with an Aasimar, which I have never done before, but they are a being with wings, and Lucifer, has the wings. So I thought this might be interesting. But then when I started looking into the species, I didn't realize how much stuff they get. And there's so much stuff that they get. So they have celestial resistance, which is really cool, just getting you resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage. They have dark vision. They have healing hands. They have light bearer, celestial revelation. I'm like, there's so many random things that as I was reading these, I was like, what even is that? What even is that? So like celestial revelation is really cool. When you reach level 3, you can transform as a bonus action. And then at the end of your turn or before the transformation ends, you can deal extra damage to the target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. Like there's just so many random things that come just from this one species that I
Yeah.
didn't even.
You gotta
As I was
keep up on
going,
all your
yeah,
actions and
I was like,
everything.
as I was reading, I'm like, oh, there's another one. That's cool. Oh, that's another one. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have like a whole page of notes that I can't even read because there's so many cool things that
It's
you
an
could do with
essay.
it.
Yeah. Well, that's
Um,
awesome. And getting wings and
yeah.
flying around with a flaming sword,
So
nothing
yeah,
nothing
so
sounds cooler
I
than that.
said the thing about the transformation, but the transformation you have the options there. So you can get heavenly wings, inner radiance, necrotic shroud. It's I'm like, can you imagine? Like he was just saying, if I had a sword as one of my starting weapons, and then I just sprouted heavenly wings, and I'm resistant to necrotic damage, like just flying around, like I would be so cool.
Striking fear in the heart of
Oh yeah,
goblins everywhere.
just giggling
Yeah.
because I'm like some kind of evil being. I don't know. I think that'd be really fun though. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
What's next, Zach?
Ability scores. So for ability scores, we take the standard array, which is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. So we're going to talk about our main stats that we're picking and then our dump stat as well. So for me, I picked wisdom, which is
1,000%. Gotta have wisdom.
the classic cleric ability, and then I picked constitution because again, you want your healer to be hardy, and it's a dwarf. Of course, he's going to be able to drink everybody under the table.
And I also went with wisdom as my main, constitution as my second, and I'll say too, my dump stat was intelligence.
I picked dexterity
Oh
because
yeah,
I figured I'm going to be wearing heavy armor.
that's true.
I'm not going to be able to move very quickly, and
I didn't do dexterity because I didn't want him to be terrible in it. Because how are you gonna be this suave person and then you trip over something?
that
You
makes
know.
sense for you. In all likelihood, my character will be drunk most of the time, so having a low dexterity checks out.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So for alignment, I can't imagine what you picked.
Oh yeah, I am a lawful. No, I'm kidding. I of course am choosing a bit of a, I guess, neutral evil, maybe sometimes chaotic
Hmm.
evil. I get a little weird when it comes to the chaotic because I feel like my character. He's laying back. He wants to see the madness
Yeah.
unfold and see how am I going to contribute to that. You
Whatever,
know,
yeah.
he's like, oh,
That's
you guys are fighting. Let me see how bad it gets, and then maybe I'll be like, all right, let me come help you real quick.
nice.
But I'm definitely on the evil side, which is really weird for me because I've never done an evil cleric before, but I think it would be fun.
Evil characters are always fun. I picked chaotic good because obviously he's going to be a healer. He's gonna be looking out for the greater good of his party and the little guy, but he's going to be chaotic. He's not going to abide by the rules of the church or anything like that. He's going to be drunk most days and healing when he's conscious enough to do so.
So I think our next thing to talk about is some spells.
So at level 1, clerics get spellcasting, which is great. It's their bread and butter of their arsenal. Um, at the beginning, you get to pick some cantrips. Some of the ones I picked were guidance. That's
Classic.
classic, just helping out all the ability checks that you can.
Mm-hmm. I love that one.
Yep. Level 1, I picked healing word because I'm taking every healing spell available to me. And level 2, I picked prayer of healing, another great healing spell.
That's a bigger one too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's more of the whole party, which is great.
So for my spells I was looking at, so cantrip I was thinking about with my character, the first one I went with was Toll the Dead. That's another one we use it all the
Mhm.
time in our campaign, and I
Yep.
thought that was very fitting for my character. One of my level 1 spells that I went with, another one I always use in the campaign is Bane.
Classic.
Absolutely love Bane.
Yep.
Also feel like it fits with the character. And then for my level 2 spell, I was really thinking Spiritual Weapon because that's one that I just personally love. But then I thought with my character and how I want him to be a little bit mischievous, I went with Blindness Deafness.
Oh, I love blindness
I
deafness.
think
There's
that would be another cool
no
one.
better way to mess with someone
Yeah, I
than
think
making
that'd
them
be
not hear or see.
where you're in the middle of battle, everyone's attacking you, and nothing. You know? I thought that'd be it's a pretty evil in my opinion. Uh, but I thought that'd be a really good one.
Yeah. So one of the great things about clerics is they can change their prepared spells. So whenever you finish a long rest, you can change your list of prepared spells, replacing any of the spells there with other cleric spells for which you have spell slots. So if you're, deciding that you're not using some of the spells that you have, you can always change up your build a little bit to fit your character more and really
Yeah,
fit into that slot.
100%.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I always forget to do as a cleric. And then I'm like, crap, why did I not do this? Cleric problems.
Yep.
So then at level 1, you also get Divine Order. So you dedicate yourself to one of the sacred roles of your choice. There's one that is Protector. So you're trained for battle, you gain proficiency with martial weapons and training with heavy armor. And a word I can't pronounce, so here we go.
Thaumaturge.
Is it Thaumaturge? Okay, I'm like, Thaumaturge. You know, one extra cantrip from the cleric spell list. In addition, your mystical connection to the vine gives you a bonus to your intelligence, arcana, or religion checks. The bonus equals your wisdom modifier minimum of +1. So with us bumping wisdom, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at this, you get to pick one of them. I picked the
Thaumaturge.
I'm like, Thaumaturge. That's not it. That's not it.
I went with Protector because obviously I need that heavy armor. I need to be able to take hits, and that always helps.
All right, so what happens at level 2?
So at level 2, you get Channel Divinity, which comes with a couple cool options that you can use with your deity. One of them being Divine Spark, which you can choose a creature within 30 feet of you and roll a d8 and add your wisdom modifier. You can either restore hit points to that creature or have them make a constitution saving throw. And on a failed save, they take necrotic damage, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of like a free spell you get that can either be a heal or a hurt.
So your other Channel Divinity option is Turn Undead. So as your action, you present your holy symbol and censor undead creatures. Each undead of your choice within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its save, it has the frightened and incapacitated conditions for 1 minute. For that duration, it tries to move as far away from you as it can on its turns. This effect ends early on the creature if it takes any damage, if you have the incapacitated condition, or if you die. And if anybody has ever watched our campaign, you would have seen me do that after you hopped into the river or the lake or whatever to try to get to a cave. And then you yelled at me for not doing it sooner, but I can't see in the dark as Willow. But that was really cool because we were being bombarded by undead creatures out of the water, and I was able to get them to all run away, and we all just made a break for the cave in our campaign. So that's cool.
Rare instances when you're swarmed by zombies, Turn Undead is a lifesaver, certainly. For
sure. So that is a good one. I never thought it would be useful, and then we used it in the campaign. It was like my first time ever using it, and I went, oh, wow, that was really cool. I should have done that
I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know what this does. Let's try. So that's a really cool one that happens there.
So at level 3, you get to pick your subclass, which is a great way to help customize your cleric and really get into the nitty-gritty of what you want them to do. So as a healer, I of course went Life Domain, which has some wonderful benefits to it.
Tell us more.
So the second thing you get at level 3 is the Life Domain spells, which gives you a list of spells that you have prepared at all times. At level 3, you get things like Aid and Bless and Cure Wounds, things that'll really help you at level 3. Then as levels go on further, you'll get other prepared spells available to you, things like Mass Healing Word, Revivify, great things that you're going to need. The final thing at level 3 is Preserve Life, which, as a magic action, you present your holy symbol and expend the use of your Channel Divinity to evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points, equal to 5 times your cleric level. So you choose creatures within 30 feet of yourself, which can include you, which is always great. Divide those hit points amongst them. So it's just another option for healing, which is great because you don't have to expend spell slots, which is always helpful.
100%. I always am worried about expending spell slots
you want
to save them to save people, and I'm like, I want to help, but I want to help this way too, and then I'm like,
and then you're ready for your long rest, and you've got all of your spells available.
So me being my character that I have chosen, I of course had to pick the Trickery Domain, and the Trickery Domain has a couple of cool little things that happen in the beginning. And then they also have a couple of cool things that happen later on. So I'm going to talk about the couple of things that you get right away at level 3. First thing you get is Blessing of the Trickster. So you can choose yourself or a willing creature within 30 feet of yourself to have advantage on dexterity checks. And that will just go on until you finish long rest or you use the feature again. Another thing you get at level 3 is Invoke Duplicity. So as a bonus action, you can expend 1 use of your Channel Divinity to create a perfect visual illusion of yourself in an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet of yourself. The illusion is intangible and doesn't occupy its space. It can last for 1 minute, but ends early if you dismiss it or if you become incapacitated in some way. The illusion is animated and mimics your expressions and gestures while it persists, and you gain benefits from that. So you can use that illusion to cast spells. You can cast spells through the illusion, but you use your own senses. So if I need to do something that's within like 120 feet of me, but like somehow that's 130 feet, it can't do that, you know?
Okay.
So it's using my stuff, but it can come out of them. So if I'm doing something within my range, I can do that, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Distract. So when you both you or and your illusion are within 5 feet of a creature, you can get advantage because it doesn't know which one's you. Obviously, that's cool. And then the last one is move. So as a bonus action, you can move the illusion up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see that's within 120 feet of yourself. So I could literally just move 30 feet away if like something got distracted and wanted to chase my illusion.
Exactly.
That's pretty
Someone's chasing you, you send your illusion
yeah,
down an alleyway.
you take care of them, you know? And then the other thing is you get your trickery domain spells. So the ones that you get at level 3 are Charm Person, Disguise Self, Invisibility, and Pass Without a Trace. And given I'm being Mr. Suave, what do you desire? Charm Person. I was like, oh
That's
yeah.
perfect, yeah.
That is so perfect for my Lucifer person. So I was like, these are so great. And then later on, you get some really cool stuff, but we'll talk about that as we get into what we're looking forward to in higher levels. So what are you looking forward to in higher levels?
So my biggest thing is at level 17, the life domain gets something called Supreme Healing, which is you just don't have to roll your healing dice anymore.
What?
You just take the maximum that the dice could give you on every heal spell.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I guess takes out a little bit of the fun, but you know, it's worth it to just be blasting people with as much health
So I
as
started
possible.
blasting.
Yeah, exactly.
So a couple of things that I'm looking forward to down the line in the trickery domain. Some of them are just a couple of spells. And given my person that I am creating, he has at level 9 you get dominate person, where you can literally take control of a person and make them do stuff like they're a freaking puppet. That is so cool. And terrifying.
Yep.
And this one's also cool and very terrifying is modify memory, which I believe you can go into somebody's memory in their past like 24 hours or something and literally change their memory, which is terrifying.
Definitely messed up, but
so messed up.
Helpful,
but so cool. Yeah. Like, yeah, no, we totally are friends, guard. You're gonna let me in. You told me that like yesterday.
You said you were gonna give me that 500 gold.
Yeah, something like that. But then too, when we were talking earlier about my illusion, there is a thing at a later level, I believe it's level 17 actually too, where you get to your invoked duplicity has grown more powerful. You can do shared distraction. You and your allies make attack rolls against a creature within 5 feet of the illusion. They all have advantage, so it's not just me anymore. My allies could have advantage. Nice. You also have the healing illusion. When the illusion ends, you or a creature of your choice within 5 feet of it regains a number of hit points equal to your cleric level.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps up our cleric builds for today. Again, this is Legends of the Tabletop, and we hope you had so much fun building clerics with us. I had a blast. I think Zach had a blast. Yeah. And I just want to say, give us a like, comment if you enjoyed this, share it, subscribe it,
tell your friends,
send it to your mom. I don't know. Do whatever you can. We really appreciate your support. And until next time, stay legendary.